I just want to thank God for this, July 12th, 2024. But first, please help my humble channel to grow. Like, subscribe, share, comment, any combination thereof. Why? Because you're beautiful on the inside and on the outside. That's why. So, the way God carries me through all of this targeting, it's just extraordinary. I've seen people, there's a lot of people on YouTube that pose as TIs and they give a lot of misinformation. What I'm giving you will change your life because you will see the mighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob working for you. The same God who rescued the Israelites from Pharaoh and the Egyptians, who split the Sea of Reeds, some people say the Red Sea, and walked them through it. Then he drowned the entire Egyptian army in that same sea. That's the God that we serve. He is so far above this TI program. But if you read Psalms 41, 1 and 2, it will tell you what happens if you help the poor. And this is something that many of you beautiful born-again TIs, you refuse to do. You will not pay your tithes and offerings, and you will demonize me for asking you to do so because your money, you serve money and you don't serve God. You would rather take your money and use it on things you don't need, like subscriptions, memberships, cable, vacations, all the stuff you're going to be targeted. Eating out when eating in is cheaper and more healthy. New clothes when the clothes you have are perfectly fine. And you refuse to help the poor. God's word says that if you help the poor, he will not deliver you over to the will of your enemies. And that is becoming more and more true for me, not because I'm righteous, but because the Lord has made me obey. And it's to the point now where I'm like, rarely am I even upset. I get more upset with TIs who won't obey the Lord. They will not tithe their money to God and help save lives in the third world. People who are starving to, they'd rather spend their money on stuff that they don't need. They will not tithe their time to the Lord. That's 2 hours and 24 minutes a day, every day, in prayer and reading his word. So they don't know what it means to not be handed over to the will of your enemy. That's the only reason why nowadays this program doesn't even get me upset. It doesn't have my heart racing and grinding my teeth and thinking about thoughts of vengeance on these folks. That's the will of the enemy. God's not even giving me over to the small little aspects of their will, let alone driving me to insanity or to committing some kind of a crime where now I'm institutionalized or not functioning, so now I'm on the street. So the Lord's not delivering me over to their will in any way, shape, or form. Progressively, okay, it's not 100%, but it's getting there as time passes because the Lord makes me do what I tell you, beautiful born-again TIs, to do. Don't tithe and help somebody who's homeless or whatever one time and then pretend like you tithe. No, it's like the wind in your sails. Once the wind ain't in your sails, your boat's not going anywhere. And it's the same thing with tithes and offerings or prayer. If you stop doing either, you lose the wind from your sail. Not to say you're not saved, but you're not going to experience God's goodness because you're not doing his will. I want you to be blessed. I want you to have a wonderful life in the midst of all this targeting and not be obsessed with when it's going to end. God bless.